Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. And this morning's magical number is 7.4. Came down from 8.9. That's where I calibrated at. So we're down to 7.4. Had a couple of corrections during the night. The latest one was 0.725 of the unit. So it's been trying to keep me within ranges all night. It's all pretty good. Now, time in range, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm 100% within the last 24 hours. This is, that's fireworks going off. 100%. Nothing above 10, nothing below. And you do feel better. Average sugar is 7.1 millimoles per deciliter. So this has got to be one of the better days. I brought this down. The last couple of days it was close to 8. So this excellent blood sugars kind of leads me into our point today. Today, I want to discuss our second job. We have a second job. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay, what's this that controlling your type 1 diabetes is a whole other job? Well, it can be all-encompassing. So you need to come up, and I've talked about this a number of times, is you need to come up with a plan and implement that plan every day. When you get up, you start going, and then it'll become easier. Now, what do I mean by a plan? What time you get up. Do things in a certain time frame to get out the door and get to school or to work. I've talked about doing your blood sugars, eating, taking medications, all at certain times. But you want to breeze through your second job. No one asked you. You didn't go for an interview. You were kind of picked out and saying, this is what you're going to have to do. So we deal with it. But we all know what will happen if we don't do our job well. You can get complications. You feel like crap all the time. And this doesn't bode well. Thinking back now, and even though I'm in a facility because of my disability, I think back to my young 20 8-year-old days, and I found, you know what? I did feel like crap. I was thirsty all the time. Now, at the store I worked, we had a fountain set up, a pop fountain. And you could drink whatever you want as long as you had your own cup. I had my own cup, and you're actually worn out because you're drinking soda all day and it's crap. And I kept drinking soda. Granted, after I left the convenience store industry, I drank more diet, and I've weaned off that now, and I'm drinking sugar-free juices, like, those drops. It makes me feel better. So, why do we consider control a second job? Because it can be variously can be quite encompassing. You have to get up, do your blood sugar. You have to prepare a meal before you head out. And you have to take your medication. And if you don't set up a plan of how you're going to do it, you're going to wake up and it's going to be, no, what am I going to do? We all have days like that, but it shouldn't be an ongoing thing. Years ago, I used to really like to sleep in. When I mean sleep in, I slept as close to the end of my sleep cycle as possible. It was like boom, boom, boom. I get up, I shower, I get dressed, and then boom, a lot of times I head out the door without eating. And if you say, oh, well, I'll grab something on the way to work. Hidden sugars, hidden salts, hidden fats all play havoc on anyone's body. So don't let it happen to you. Set up a realistic plan. Now, when I started to control my diabetes and decided, well, you know what? This is a little bit more encompassing than I've been used to. I started implementing one feature. And at that point, it was, I'm going to do my insulin every morning at a certain time. Next, I started eating. And then the glucometers came in as a big thing. Thinking back where I am now, I should have had a glucometer kept at work and one at home. When I got into later in working in the office of the company, I did have that. I had a glucometer at work and one at the office. That worked great. When you go to do your job, think about it. You go and you have a plan set of what you need to be done so you can complete your job throughout the day. Why not do that for your diabetes? Mind-blowing here. It's actually so simple. Draw out a plan. Now don't draw out, I'm not saying every little 5 minutes. But you can get up, do your blood sugar, go get ready for the day, and then eat, or eat right after your blood sugar. then take your medication or whatever system works for you. And you will be able to tell how well things are going by your hemoglobin A1C or your time in range. If you're on shots, you're pretty well going to be looking at the hemoglobin A1C, which is a blood test you take every 3 months. Time in range, if you're on the pump, you will have some sort of, let's just get this back, information coming from your pump, which will give you this graph. This is what we call time in range. So, itchy nose. We want to ensure that you live the best possible life. Now, it's not only getting out of the door. You want to ensure that you're also, how do I put this? Eating at a certain time. So at work, you have to encompass your meal times. When I was working at the store level, my meal time, my midday break time was askew. And it could be, if we got busy, I'd have to be out on the floor. It wasn't so precise. I just end up having to make it precise. I'd have my lunch just before the average lunchtime of noon so that I could be out on the floor when the kids came for lunch. If I miss that, it wouldn't be till later. And a lot of times I could be endangering myself by going low. And we really started to learn how quickly I could drop. And becoming low can come on extremely quickly. So be prepared. Have your plan. Let other people know what you're going to do and why you need to. Sleep or something, an itchy eye. My plan might be different than yours. My plan here is pretty well dictated by when I get the food. When that also dictates when to do my shots or my pump. When I say shots, I'm referring for myself for the pump. But for you, out there in the real world, plan your day accordingly and follow it. I can tell you, you're probably going to end up feeling better. Your blood sugars are going to be more in line. Now, again, I'm going to bring up this point. Once you start following a plan and it ends up working, if your blood sugars have been up here and all of a sudden they're coming down here, you're going to feel like you're having a low blood sugar. By all means, if you get the symptoms, treat them. And then see if you are high or low and move on. At first, when I started my plan, I wrote down the times, and then it sort of encompassed into the plan. You could have two, maybe even more plans. Things like when you're traveling, when you're at home for a work day, when you're at home for a weekend or a day off. That's going to be different. With the pump, you don't have to worry and sort of get up same time every day. And that's pretty well what we ended up doing, what my dad had me do as a teenager. I still had to get up at 6 o'clock every day, and I would have to eat And he said, oh, well, then you could go back to sleep. Never worked out that way. He would say, oh, well, here, just have all these chores done before the rest of us get up. You're already up. Having a plan, treating it sort of like the same job. Just think about it. We spend an awful lot of time at work to reap a benefit, which is cash. We don't get cash, but we do get a feeling that our blood sugars are better. We're starting to feel better. Remember that. Set up a plan that works for you. And with that, have a super day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.